Here's the new beginnings. Here's the new beginnings. The pull up so independent. We pull up so independent.
Hey everybody, thank you for building with the Sloans. This is episode 4 of the Sloan Blueprint, a Couplepreneurs podcast. I am your co-host, Nicole Sloan.
And I am Eric Sloan.
And we are just so elated that it's episode 4 and we made it. I think it calls for celebration, don't you?
Well, you got some theme music?
Celebrate good times, come on.
You got to rock with it.
There you go, lean with it, rock with it. But I've said it once, I'll say it twice. You know, we are just so thankful that you guys are continuing to join. You know, that sounds like my Easter speech. We welcome you once, we welcome you twice, we welcome you in the name of Jesus Christ. But anyway,
you say so.
And there, hey, I do. I did say it. But we want to just say how grateful we are that you continue to take time out of your busy schedules to join us and to just listen to us and support us. And a lot of you, as we said last time, people have actually been taking notes. And that's pretty, I don't know, that's pretty impressive to me that they've been taking notes. So again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And don't forget, our motto is progress, not perfection. So we're going to all just keep learning and building and growing together each week, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So since you say that, how was your week?
It was good. Had a few challenges here and there, you know, the devil tried it, but I got away. And some other folks got away too. Jesus saved their life. But yeah, it was pretty good. How about yours?
Pretty good. Eventful. Mm-hmm. Of course, right now with it being end of fiscal year from a government contracting standpoint, this is a busy time period. Mm-hmm. So our proposal team has been extremely busy. So it's been an eventful week, but
eventful, but productive.
Productive, absolutely.
There you go. Eventful but productive. We trying to make some progress now. Mm-hmm. But on the previous episode, we talked about how we took the big leap, right? And how we became our own, you remember, Boss Times 2.
Mm-hmm. So we don't have on the shirts this time, and right. I'm not doing it backwards.
Dyslexic or whatever you were doing, if that's what it's called. But this episode, we just wanted to dive a little bit deeper and maybe even talk about, or I would say maybe Big Leap Part 2. What do you think about that? Is it Big Leap Part 2? And there's so many aspects of business that we could talk about. And if we did, we'd be here for days.
Yep. So I guess if we're going to talk about that, so what aspect of, I guess, the Leap Times 2 aspects of business are we going to talk about? Think about, how about lean into the circle of trust? Because if we go into the circle of trust, we're talking about episode 4, but if we're talking about the circle of trust, we can be episode 5, 6, 7, 8.
I know that's right.
Going on.
Episode 38.
Just talking about that because there's so many different aspects of a circle of trust that we can pull off of.
Well, you know, and it's something that we can relate to in regard to both of our businesses because to me, your circle of trust can help or hinder the growth of your company or your businesses.
100%.
Right? In anything else. But to me, we wholeheartedly believe, I feel, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I'm speaking for we, French, we wholeheartedly believe in the stages to building a circle of trust in your team, right?
Absolutely.
And what I would say the number one stage of that is obviously trust. Yeah. Or to me, that's one of the number ones. Anyway,
I should have came in when you I should have caught you. So when you said the circle of trust and then session 1, I should have hit the drum roll so it can be dramatic.
Well, come on.
You ready? So number
Too
1.
Late. You late. But that trust, it all boils down to, in my opinion, and I want you to chime in on this too, showing a genuine concern for your team members, right?
Yeah.
Being loyal to your team. As a leader, I feel like I need to be the example in order for things to work. Now, I still tell my folks, y'all, I ain't perfect now. And I feel like I learned from my team as well. It's a reciprocal thing, reciprocity. that was impressive too. Now, come on. But my goal with all of our employees is just to not be the boss, to say I'm the boss. You know, even though we are the boss times two. Giving that plug, right? Boss times two. But also to be relatable, build a real relationship with the team. You know, I believe in the first episode, I talked a little bit about my first job out of college 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. I'm trying to make myself younger. But over 20 years ago.
What are you talking about?
Okay. But my supervisor at the time, she had like zero compassion. This lady was, I'm just keeping it real. Maybe she'll watch it. But zero compassion for me. And that led to me having zero trust for her. And I remember specifically when we got married on a Sunday. I know you remember that.
100%.
And I asked this lady for the next day off just so we could have some time. Because, you know, things were going on. You were playing ball. But we wanted at least a day to be able to kind of half honeymoon. Well, I remember asking her, and she told me no. She told me no. And I think I'm just as stunned now as I was then. You know, she told me no. And then on top of that, we get married. The next day I go to work. I report in at 8 o'clock. And then this lady told me at 9 o'clock, she came to my office and said, "Oh, you can go home."
Yep, I remember that day.
Whew.
And I remember your reaction as well. Let me to fan you down.
Fan me down. Look, fan me down. But you know what? It made me think, because I'm gonna be honest, because I really wasn't walking with Jesus like that then. I was a little bit. Jesus saved her life too. Because I wanted to lay hands and not with any oil. but I'm keeping it real.
See, we're gonna keep the new you.
Let me pray real quick. Say a prayer. Get myself back together. But that goes back to, again, valuing your employees so they can trust you. At the time, I felt like I was a great employee. I was doing my job. I was coming in on time. And to me, that just totally destroyed the trust that I had. Not to mention she come in every day, not speak, walk by mouth. But that's another story anyway.
See, I love your explanations from that standpoint, because from my standpoint, that intrigues me as far as how your mind processes things.
It
because,
does like that.
That can bring up so many other different topics or questions as it pertains to that particular process, as far as what you mean, and as it relates to value. Because from a value aspect, there's so many definitions. So for me, what's your definition of value? Because it can mean so many different things. So it can mean you value their opinion, you value the relationship, you value whatever else it may be, but just understanding that true value and what exactly does that mean from your standpoint. And then
you going deep, ain't you? Come on.
Value can be drastically different for everybody, and it can be different from your standpoint and then from my standpoint. So that's why I mentioned that.
That's true. And it doesn't matter what kind of relationship it is, whether it be employer or employee, or employer to team member, spouse to spouse, boss to boss, whatever the case may be. I was thinking boss times too, you know what I meant. But to me, it's important to make people feel valued, because, again, everybody wants to feel valued, no matter what the situation or the relationship is, in some shape, form, or fashion.
Correct.
In my opinion.
So right. That's where it goes to, I guess, going back to what I was trying to say before, that two-way street. Because value, from my standpoint, it can translate into so many different things that I was trying to say, as far as knowledge, resources, influence, and productivity. Number one.
All that's affected. Exactly. All that's affected.
Well, and I guess that leads into point number 2 from my standpoint, as we're talking about the circle of trust as it relates to empowerment. And that's a big one. And so, of course, and I hate to be theoretical, but you definitely want to read, understand the empowerment definition means. So,
come on, theoretical.
Yeah. Authority of power given to someone to do something. So that can be a hard pill to swallow, especially in a relationship.
That's right.
In a friendship, in a partnership, couplepreneurship. I think y'all get the point that I'm trying to say as far as that aspect. But just allowing people to find creativity and being efficient in the things that they're doing. as it relates to empowerment, because sometimes when we are doing things and we've been doing it our way for so long, it's hard to relinquish some of that responsibility.
It is.
And then allow somebody else to bring their perspective into it, because they may be younger or maybe be more experienced than what you are, and they have a better way of doing it. But if you're not willing to empower them and then allow them to bring their point of views to the table,
or their expertise, being
Correct.
receptive to one another,
Correct.
receptive to each other's thoughts or ideas. That's a perfect point. And also, to me, when you're empowering your team, you're helping your team to also boost their confidence in areas that they didn't even think that they were strong in.
I agree.
I think one of our team members, we were talking one day, and we were just saying how that person may have said, well, you just don't know how much you all have helped, boost my confidence or help me come out of my shell to a certain degree, me just paraphrasing. And I had to let them know, hey, this is the same for me, because I'm coming out of my shell and I'm stepping out of comfort zones too, even with this, stepping out of comfort zones. So empowering one another, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, but I think when we say that, I think Grant Cardone said it best, probably in his book, 10X. So when we're empowering our employees and allow them to be the best that they can be, then that's helping our organization propel 10X and probably more than 10X. Exactly. We probably can say 100X and 1,000X.
That's what we're saying, exponentially. How you say that in mathematical terms? You the math whiz. Really? But which also leads to empowering your team, but the next thing would be motivating. The motivational part. Same, kind of similar, but when you're being a source of motivation for your team, you want to make them feel like they can conquer any task, as long as, just like we believe, as long as you have the faith to back it up with the work, you can accomplish it, right?
Faith without works is dead.
Right, faith without, come on, Deacon.
I got a good one.
Faith without works is dead. We said that the last episode. Motivating your team, to be the best they can be also contributes to the success of your company, no doubt. Because I feel like the bigger they believe they can do, the greater the company will grow. And I think I know we'll all grow in leaps and bounds. And what's our saying? Teamwork makes the dream work,
Absolutely.
Right? And it's a true saying. We're motivating each other. And I'm sorry, let me let you say something.
There's so many different.
They'll probably say she talked too much. But go on. All right now. Let's not go there. Gonna keep it sweet for the people.
Keep it real.
Keep it real. Keeping it real.
No, but I guess what I was going to say is so many different forms of motivation. So from a motivation, if we're looking at it from a boss standpoint, since that's the area that we're on right now, the encouragement. We said before, the empowerment, that's a form of motivation. The financial aspects, whether it be from a bonus standpoint, that's a form of motivation. But then another form of motivation, which will go probably into the next point, being creating a learning culture. So that in itself can be a form of motivation, because allowing them to grow personally, grow professionally, and then from a company standpoint, being able to put some financial resources behind them, being able to do that. Right. So
that's important to people.
Exactly. And I say from our standpoint, from our company's standpoint, I think we have been very good at doing that and making sure that we try to motivate our people, not only just learning tools within the organization, but things that they can take from outside of the organization and then propel their business careers and even their personal careers as well.
That's right. So, offering, trainings and, just resources for people to be able to, that's a part of creating that learning culture.
Correct.
For your team.
And then I say internally, we have, I guess, a database full of, say, 5,000 CBTs that we have access to, that if they want to learn something from the IT.
Some people may not know what CBTs are. I'm
sorry, computer-based training.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
I'm just saying some people may not know.
Great point.
Mr. IT.
Yeah. From a government contracting standpoint, we talk in acronyms quite a bit. So CBT, computer-based training.
There you go. You made it. You made the point. All right.
But having access to 5,000 CPTs that they can do on their own time, but then also from a teaming standpoint, team building, just doing things, either going out, just doing so many different things from a team building standpoint that will help foster that
and that's
that motivation.
Yeah.
Or that learning culture.
Absolutely. And that's on the IT side. Well, both. And then, we try our best to even offer on the real estate side, the agents trainings when we can, bringing in, maybe loan officers to talk about, the loan process, what they do, what products they offer, and things of that nature. It's just really important because, again, it helps not only for us to grow our business, but it also enhances them and helps them to grow their business,
Correct.
even as real estate agents on the real estate side of things.
Correct.
Because you trying to bring out your IT stuff now. We working too. We working over here.
It's a team. It's a reciprocal thing.
I know, but I just want to let just to make that point.
It's not one more than the other.
All right, but which finally leads to a culture, to me, of innovation.
I like that.
See, culture of innovation. But just allowing your team to be introduced to new things, tweaking, and then allowing them to tweak some of the things that we're currently working on in order to contribute to the growth of the company. Now, we have to admit that this feedback is not always necessarily positive, not that they're giving us this feedback in a negative way.
What?
You got a hard time talking about that, but never mind.
Really?
Never mind. Never mind.
Really?
You're perfect. No, you're not. But it won't always come off as positive. But in essence, it's only geared to help us toward positive change within the organization. Or not even just the organization, individually.
Correct.
We have to be willing to accept constructive feedback.
So you emphasize that. It seems like you're putting that towards me for some reason, but I'll let you keep going.
Is that shoe fitting? Never mind. But you got to make people feel comfortable sharing their ideas and know that their input is valued in the growth of the company. To me, that's just in a nutshell, which is, I don't know, to be some business owners have that my way or no way mentality. But in business, you just won't grow like that.
No, not at all.
There's just no way. And I think we try to involve our team in the decision-making process on some things. Of course, there are things that we won't necessarily involve them on because it just doesn't, it has no benefit to them either way. As far as they're well, I won't say that because it will in the long, with some kind of way it does because it affects everybody. So I said that wrong. But, well,
I think just going into it a little bit further when we're talking about the culture of innovation, it's almost you have to innovate in order for your organization to grow. So you would look at the internet for right now. 10 years ago, it was not as what it is right now as far as social media and so many marketing aspects and the technology and how it evolves, how it evolves, even with the televisions. At home, everything is a smart TV now.
It is. Man, I remember back in the day, going up there hitting on the TV trying to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Antennas or whatever. We're not that old, but I did. My grandmother had those. But no, really, that's true. Everything is just high tech now. Even the kids and stuff. Everything is high tech. But anyway.
So we can even talk about youngest niece, how she'll get into
2 years old.
Technology and already knows how to swipe and sometimes text and do some other things. So it's amazing just from a technology standpoint how it has evolved to not only from a personal standpoint, but then coming back to the circle of trust from the business standpoint and understanding that component in order to grow your business.
In order to grow your business and allowing your employees or team members to give their thoughts and opinions, not feeling like they're going to be shot down. Because we do have some younger team members, and they contribute greatly to the success of this team.
Correct.
Things that they think about, they think outside the box. And then they grew up in this technological.
Oh, we'll take it.
Yep, technological age. They've grown up in this age, so that's all they know. Whereas when we grew up, we were outside playing in the dirt and eating grass and drinking out the water hose and all that. These kids ain't done that. They ain't outside for real.
Yeah. Now, I would agree there.
They doing this or this, I mean, really, that's just the age that we're in right now.
Correct.
So,
but I want to piggyback on that because I think that the technology components of it goes back into that empowerment aspect of it as well. So from the standpoint, empowerment as it relates to technology, making sure that your team members understand your vision. And then if they understand your vision, then that will allow them to go out and learn new technology that they can bring into the company, that they bring that into the company. Now that becomes a new capability that you can go out there and then help your customers out.
Right, exactly.
So
very, very, very good point.
Yeah. And then following that, that also allows you to give your team permission to act where they're not always necessarily waiting on you. So if they got to always wait on you.
On us sometimes.
Exactly.
Bless their hearts, because I know sometimes even when they probably wait on us to do this here good Couplepreneurs podcast, they probably saying, I don't mind waiting. They probably saying, I do mind waiting. But yeah, you're right. You're making some good points. You really been thinking on this thing.
I try. I try.
Really good. But so if we were to just sum up or even recap the 5 stages of the circle of trust, as we said, number 1, trust. That's just, to me, I don't think there's
self-explanatory.
It's self-explanatory.
Yep.
You helped me because I had a brain freeze.
No worries. See, that's why we yin and yang.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But again, trust. What was the
number
other one
2?
That you said?
It was empowerment.
Empowerment.
And from that standpoint, I think I probably just said it, but giving your team permission to act. So if you're going to give them permission to act, also understand that it's not going to be a turnkey operation. So once you're giving them time to act, it's not going to be instant.
No, it won't be instant.
So that's where
I almost went to another point, but I'm going to stop right there. Because about that part. It won't be instant.
Really?
Because sometimes we ask you to do something, you just kind of move along. I'm joking.
I move at my pace.
I'm joking. I know. Which leads to the motivational part, motivating your team, being a source of support for them, letting them know and making them feel that they can conquer anything as long as what you said. You come on. You had your little scripture, faith without works. I'm trying to give you a point to bring that. I give you an opportunity. I'm sorry to bring that back in.
Faith without works is dead.
Look at them. See, and
you got jokes today.
Okay, let me be good. Okay,
next, incorporating a learning culture.
See, you get it now. You get your tickle box turned over. Incorporating the learning culture for your team.
Provide access for your team to participate in team building and learning opportunities, whether it be professionally or personally.
It's all about growth over here in these streets. In the Boss Times 2 streets, we're trying to grow, and not just us. We want everybody to grow and learn and prosper, right?
Absolutely. So as we climb, we're attempting to lift others as we climb.
That's right. That's what we do. We empower, we motivate. Okay. And then finally, the culture, just creating a culture of innovation, taking their ideas, accepting their feedback, whether positive or negative. And again, really, it wouldn't be considered negative because
constructive criticism.
Constructive feedback or criticism. Exactly. We want to be welcoming to that. And then just not making them feel that their suggestions will be laughed at or discredited. We value our employees and their feedback and opinions and their knowledge and their expertise.
Yeah, and I would agree there because I know some of our team members have brought some new ideas from some technology that we already have in-house, but we weren't fully utilizing.
We're not fully utilizing it.
So they've gone back and done some training and came back and incorporated some processes and procedures into the organization that has now taken us, which probably would have taken us 6 months, now it has taken us maybe a couple of weeks to implement and to organize and to get some things done. So
I'm just glad.
Kudos to our team.
I know that's right. Kudos to our team,
do.
because they just are helping me to help you, because you get out here and buy all these here electronics. And,
Really?
And now that we get to fully use this stuff.
Really?
Okay. Well, anyway. Did you have another point? I'm sorry.
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
I did not.
But hey, I think we recap those. We want to. Would you like to offer the people to subscribe? Because that's what we really would love for everyone to do as well. Thank y'all.
Yeah, we're on all social media platforms, YouTube.
Right. Y'all already know what to do. And remember, you got to encourage them. Continue to watch, share. Remember I said, share it with your friends, your grandmother, because y'all know they on social media now too, right? The old people peeping over the screen, But look, tell a friend, tell whoever you know, a coworker, whoever it is, to please subscribe to the Sloan Blueprint. We're on all, well, I don't know about all, because we probably need our team to tell you that. But a lot of the social media outlets, and we just would appreciate the support. We appreciate your support, and we appreciate you just passing along and getting the word out for us. And our goal is, again, what do we say? We're always just trying to encourage and inspire you, knowing that if we can do it, you can do the same.
Absolutely.
And remember, we also want to reiterate, as another plug, Boss Times 2 is coming soon to an online store near you.
So
right?
I don't have it on right now, but it would have been Boss Times 2.
But if you go and subscribe and you hit us up on IG and Facebook, you'll see the Boss Times 2 logo.
Yeah,
and
the superior marketer right here.
Hey, I got to do what I got to do. Because if I don't try to help make this money, we won't be where the money resides. So,
where the money resides.
Again, we're going to have those available soon. I'm sure there's a lot of other couplepreneurs out there that wouldn't mind representing their Boss Times 2 status, right?
100%.
And don't forget, please stay tuned each week. You never know, we're going to have some special guests. We keep talking about it, but they're coming, and you don't want to miss out. I promise you don't want to miss. So remember, as you are seeking to build your circle of trust, keep in mind, and I quote, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Signing off from the Sloan Blueprint, a Couplepreneurs podcast.